Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. What do we mean when we say that socialism has never worked? We would mean, oh, Soviet Russia, Nazi Germany, Maoist China, right? We would list the socialist things. All right. Well, David Pacman says debunked socialism has never worked. He's debunking it for us on his YouTube channel, The David Pacman Show. Now, it's a 20-minute thing, and I did like an hour reply to it or something like that. So if you don't want to go wade through all that, this is the essential bit right here. He does crap like flashes graphics for 2 seconds, graphics that would take you 5 minutes to look at, that are nonsense graphics about Marxism. And he does all kinds of deceptive things, and he lies, and he slanders the audience, and he says people who just don't know very much about socialism. And he's accusing you, if you think that communism was socialism, then he's accusing you of not knowing very much about history. He's terrible. The whole video is terrible. If you don't want to wade through it all, here is where he says the essential point that socialism has never worked being debunked right here. This is it. He debunks it right here.
Advocates a revolution wherein a society's means of production are taken by force, rather than by reform or negotiation or slower forms of transition. The means of production will then be controlled by a proletarian state, which in theory will lead to an egalitarian, stateless society that governs itself without coercive institutions.
Okay. So he just went through all this stuff about how we get the state into our hands of the proletariat through stupid revolution or whatever like that. Really important point here, and he's in the middle of saying that sentence. He's saying right now, really important point here. Okay? So he just described the dictatorship of the proletariat, where the workers own the means of production. Right? He just described theoretical communism, let's say.
Important point here. This is not what the Soviet Union or its, quote, communist successors achieved or were...
This is not what these guys achieved.
Or
were working toward, despite their pretenses. Okay? Mao, Che, Stalin, Che, Mao, and I don't know who are these guys? What's that guy? Is he Pol Pot? These guys are murderers on a vast scale because they preached and practiced socialism. They, according to David Pacman, were a mere pretense. It was a mere pretense. Socialism was just a pretense for these guys. Okay? They didn't really believe it. They weren't trying to practice it. And actually, all of these guys are right-wingers. Did you know that? Stalin, Mao, Che Guevara is a right-wing phenomenon. Did you know that? All these guys are right-wingers, according to David Pacman.
Pretenses. Bolshevism, Maoism, and the like are inherently right-wing, totalitarian...
There. That's what you need to get out of the David Pacman debunked socialism never works. That Mao, Che Guevara, and Stalin are right-wingers. Okay? David Pacman is one of the most dishonest people I can even imagine. What an utter scumbag.